There are days when I think Buddha was such a typical man. Desire is the root of all suffering. Remain neutral. That he obviously never got laid or found women too mysterious or pleasures too complex. Detachment from negative drama is a noble thing, but I say, suck the marrow of desire dry. What else makes all this horribleness bearable? I say, cleave to desire, even as it drowns you. It's so easy and boring to merely float through life and watch. Why have a body at all if it never gets touched? Then I have days like this one, crushed from the night before. Another one of those new age orgies I now frequent because I am so liberated, where no one rescued me, when I fell into the pit of social anxiety and I remained unfucked and unsatisfied, hating that I needed to be rescued at all, knowing bullying myself into a Tinder profile would only make it worse, that I just don't have the necessary bravado to stop devouring myself. And I think Buddha was right about everything. I should just drag myself to another silent 10-day meditation retreat, strangle this slippery viper once and for all, so I can sit empty and victorious on my lotus flower, compassionately smug in my spiritual bliss. The trouble is, desire doesn't care what kind of day I'm having. Regardless of my arrogance or my despair, she just leans back on her plush velvet throne, smirks knowingly like a 1920s vamp, spreads her legs, tosses her glorious blazing hair and says, well, Buddhas come and go, honey bun. I am not going anywhere.
And once easy,
Fuck
can't go back. You eat his wings till he burns them black.
A Virgin's Guide A Virgin's Guide to Hiring an Escort.
So slide away and give me a moment when makes us raw. I've got to
I want you to go down on me for like ages. I want you to tell me exactly how you like your dick sucked because I want to go to town on it.
I'll meet you tonight.
I want you to bend me over and go at me and call me a good girl. I want you to whip me till I'm red and raw and call me a bad girl. I want you to come in my mouth, on my face, on my tits, just come all over me. I want you to kiss me. I know it sounds pathetic, but I've never really been kissed properly. To kiss me, I want you to touch me. Every inch of my skin. Nobody touches me. Nobody wants to touch me. Just touch me everywhere. Tell me how to please you. I know you're here for me, but I crave your approval. I don't like being in charge. I want to be safe, to be weak. Just make me feel desirable, seen, loved. Just fuck it out of me. All this toxic bullshit I've been carrying around my whole life that's kept me lonely and shame-filled and scared. Fuck me.
I'm lonely.
I want you to fuck me.
Be brave and surrender. Skin. Fizzing with anxious need, I clock watch and breathe tightness. Beat my raw naivety down with begging, please, just give me this. Let it happen. Make it work. Your natural sensuality hits me like a wave. Be careful with me, I plead silently. You don't need to hear it. You read my body shaking with want, jittering fingers fascinated by the promise of skin. I kiss you first. I'm proud of myself. Suddenly I cease to feel that old, cold dread, the warmth of you. I'm warm for once. The warmth of you makes me throw it all at you in one go. I'm too much, I know, but it doesn't matter. You give me all of you anyway. Reward me for my bravery with teasing expert hands, laughter, insight, soothing commands.
Relax. Tell me. Touch yourself. Look at me.
I gave myself a rule. I wouldn't say sorry, and of course I break it in my eagerness, but this time, it's about what pleases me. You can tell this terrifies me, so you take charge. I think I start to say sorry on purpose. Utterly seduced by this woman I don't recognize, but always knew myself to be. Intrigued by how quickly she's unleashed with a playful slap.
Stop apologizing.
It's never felt so good to be this infuriating. All I needed was permission to know it's not something I can do wrong. It's easy. In this electric, blissful now, bodies entwined without cringeworthy cliches or posturing angles, you are a gentle animal, the facilitator of my dormant power, unearthed in bumbling acts of revelation. I am allowed. invited. I am desired. Desiring. My desire has a purpose that isn't setting me up to fall, stated without being doused down or bitterly resented for existing at all. I don't even care who can hear my moans through the wall devour me, down to the last shred of loneliness that was killing me slowly. I surrender. Bold in my urge to relinquish control, my hips take on the swagger of a woman free of fear to be touched, kissed, fucked, seen, because I was drowning. I feel no shame in asking you to teach me how to swim. It wasn't about something new. It was about remembering. Kick back, dive in, trust your lungs. Run, expectant fingers over inviting lips. Receive uncomplicated attention. Release the world's weight. Breath in ear, neck, shiver that spot on my spine that jolts me. Right there. Sweat, soul, hands in hair. Don't stop it. Kills me. And it will have to stop. Hearts dance, exploding, implode. I have broken into sweet pieces of chaos that find their way back together without parasitic glue. Gold is the only worthy element that can reforge me anew. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You teach me how to be proud of this natural creature, how to be kind to her instead of pulling her apart as you pull her pain apart, gently, gentle animal. I am pulled up into thudding chest, held in time, stretching oblivion. I get it now. Forgive myself all the time I wasted thinking I knew nothing. It's mine now. The whole world of desire reclaimed. I don't sleep a wink. The sound of someone's breath next to mine, skin lazily grazing skin, too overwhelming. Anyone who begrudged me this never got to feel what it was like to be in this body, once frozen and enraged, now on fire with its own freedom. You helped me know myself more, stranger, lover, than anyone who knew me, who threw me by supposedly knowing better. Now, I know better, that it's about how I feel first. No one else's fucking business how I quench my thirst after wandering for so long in the hinterland of useless want. You were everything I needed, without feeling a fool to need. You were worth every penny.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day. It's a new life for me, yeah. It's a new dawn, it's a new day. It's a new life for me. Ooh. And I'm feeling good. Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River running free, you know how I feel. Blossom on the tree, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day. It's a new life for me. Sleep in peace when day is done, that's what I mean. And this old world is a new world and a bold world.
Indulge yourself and make the most of him. Feast. I was not prepared for the feast of you. So long starving, begging for scraps to suddenly be so full. Invited to have my fill of the gift of your body, the sweet tang of your sweat, the soft ceasing of thought as your teeth gently bit my lip and brought me to life. It took me endless, awkward seconds to answer you. Throat full of thorns, finally untangling for someone willing to wrap my vines around and flourish. How can it happen this quickly? So much luck. To flush out all of that stinging nettle hunger in a heartbeat. You have slain me. I bury all my broken down hope in your arms and wake up reborn. I shimmer in the fire of desolation, blissfully ignorant of that unconscious part of me that is already mourning, knowing this will be over before I am ready.
Kiss of pain. If you're gonna break my heart, this is a good start. Kiss of pain.
Speak your darkest desires and trust.
So tired of playing with this bow and arrow. Gonna give my heart away, leave it to the other girls to play. For I've been a temptress too long.
But
Yes, give me a reason to love you. Give me a reason to believe.
it's how I know it was real. Along with that gorgeous ache in my soul when I remember. Red indents on my pale skin tell how I was ripe for devouring,
All looking at a different
worthy
picture.
of being feasted on. It makes me feel strong to have been so deliciously wounded. Excites me to know I can keep it secret or display it proudly. No explanation necessary. You could tell from my smile alone how I have been given to and taken all at once.
I just wanna be a woman.
When they fade, I'm disappointed, deprived of the last physical trace of you because I'm still burning, desperate to gorge on you again, and who could blame me if they ever felt their flesh shudder under your mouth? Ecstatically happy to worship and be worshipped accordingly. You introduced me to that salacious slut I always wanted to pull out my head and share. To just lie back and take all you have to offer because I am a gift. I never thought I'd be so naturally submissive. Any other scenario, I wouldn't stand for it, this relinquishing of power, but here, in this suspended reality, paid for by the hour, this woman, who until this evening was still a shivering girl, blushing and stuttering, is yours to pin down and mark as your own.
Good girl.
Get used to seeing sex everywhere. Leda. Leda was the mother of Helen of Troy and was seduced by Zeus in the guise of a swan. For a moment, I am Leda, both afraid and in awe, knowing instinctively this one is not the same as the others, all preening and aloof like a dressing room full of lazy divas. This one is a hunter. I was not prepared as I turned the corner, sun shimmering diamonds on the lake, to see such a legion of brightness, a whiteness of swans. It feels otherworldly, like I have somehow shrunken. I'm speechless, ironically mute. It's pure mythology, and my epic heart is racing into metaphors. This one is not intimidated. Instead of hiss, there is silence, surety as he steps towards me fearlessly. Growing the food doesn't deter him. He's coming for me, for the whole offering. It's because I am still feathered with the memory of you that I see the potential for sensuality everywhere. Still feel your weight encasing me in pounding, thoughtless joy. It's
because of your bite marks still red on my neck, your whispers in my ear, that I find this animal's advance intriguing. Before, I would have appeased, given in. Now, I puff out my chest and stand my ground, unwavering will in my bones, feeling taller somehow. I step forward and take up space so he knows I am not to be taken lightly. This leader is not to be trifled with, seduced by something shiny as if it's harmless. And you are no posturing god. Your yielding masculinity is beautiful. The swan is just the swan, but all three of us blaze power in our own subtle ways. I advance, heart ablaze, he backs off, I stride emboldened. I am coming for the world. Remember, don't fall for him. George Michael's slow dance. Despite what you and I have done together, the sweat, the kisses, the whip, the blindfold, I still don't have the nerve to ask for what I want the most. It sounds so corny and tame. I want to slow dance with you to George Michael's father figure. Not even a kinky thing. I want us fully clothed, hips swaying in time, your hands on my waist, my head nestled into your shoulder like some Hollywood prom movie I thought I'd outgrown. Now I finally know how well reality can deliver. The romance is fucking bullshit. Oh, I don't know why it embarrasses me so much. Something so casual yet so intimate. It's not the same as what we do in bed. I know there are better songs to slow dance to, that the lyrics are problematic for our official arrangement, my vulnerability, your mastery, but nevertheless, slow dance to George Michael with me, because I've never slow danced with a man before. I want us far away from the gyrating on the dance floor. Oh, I will be your father figure, put your tiny hand in mine. I will be your preacher, teacher, anything you have in mind. I will be your father figure, I have had enough of crime. I will be the one who loves you till the end of time. It's so much more intense than your tongue on my clit, my hands gripping your hair. We may never get there. It could be way too expensive in a subtle, heart-ripping way. I can't really have you once that loaded song is over. Not to keep, anyway. Never mind. It's silly, really. I'll probably never ask. Because when you slow dance to George Michael's father figure, there really is no going back. Remember, this is about you and your future. When I was done with drowning, let my glinting glass edges begging for touch despite the warning, smooth under the flood of you, I realized I could deep dive after all, that I didn't need to hold my breath, pull every ounce of power down into my lungs just to keep myself afloat but not thriving, that I could just exhale, keep unfurling, rise, and never grasp for another greedy gulp to live. All my sharpness smoothed down to a palm-sized gift that the hand naturally curls around and squeezes because it feels like home. All the myths I'd grinded into my hope until it was heavy and I hoarded it crab-like, as aloof as a gull, hovering but never landing, scaled in armour, afraid to kick out alone because the sea is cruel unless you turn shark. I didn't know I would sink into you so utterly until I realised I was already there, waiting between tides, long before I knew you. In that liquid evening of the exploration of flesh, the salvaging of sex, I remembered the wreck of me is still beautiful. Every time the sunlight shimmers through the kelp, cuts up the dark, and finds the pearl of me, the moon of womanhood, the world under the world. Don't. Brave. I've learned in the most sublime and vicious way that if you starve desire, it doesn't die, it just eats you instead, until what you force to make small screams to thrive makes you run from the one thing that makes you feel alive, because God forbid anyone should hear your true animal howling. And this is all I can think about in the middle of the oily orgy. How all this welcoming, slippery freedom is nothing compared to the moment you said, "You're brave." And I believed you. And then you fucked me, because that's why I hired you, but you felt like my friend as well as my fantasy, so I wasn't scared of you, like I am now. Scared when I thought I'd come so far, achieved my sexual liberation. Oh, I don't feel liberated now. among the pink neon-lit limbs and the scent of jasmine as strangers grind to sensuous bass lines with Tesco's own snacks in polystyrene bowls on the sidelines. Plastic cups with name stickers on. There I am, Lorna. And I feel like to even pick it up would declare me an imposter, because what the fuck am I doing here? Less than a week after I said to my friend, I know I told you not to worry, but it turns out I did fall for him. Pretty hard. But I do feel safe here because it's curated. There are rules. I continued to pay for the chaos to be compartmentalized. This is the only way I can navigate the tangled variables of sex, which brings a new terror. All that bravado when I straddled you, sucked you greedily, when I kissed you first. Me, the girl who had shut down even a conversation about sexual intimacy, who by our third encounter handed you a whip and a blindfold and said, do whatever you want to me. I thought she was here to stay. After smashing through the stage door of shame to make such a grand, sensual debut, she, it turns out, she can only be unleashed when she's with you, and right now, she's churning up my shiny new guts, hating me for making her miss you here, crying in the middle of the orgy. This is just so typical of you, she sneers, as sweat and oil and saliva mingle in a cacophony of pleasure moans. When are you going to figure it out? No one is coming to save you. You have to save yourself. That's what makes people want you back. She was right, of course. She was there, mocking me when I would whisper, I love you, into the space between your shoulder blades, not sure how much I meant it. How would I know? Nothing to compare it to. I just had to get the words out in case I never got another moment that warranted them. This is the trouble with the consistently starved. We tend to sink our teeth in too deep, lest our long-awaited rewards be snatched away. But no one, not even you, would blame me for ducking out of all of this potential and crying in the middle of the orgy, wanting you pointlessly, surrounded by 29 other people there for the literal taking. Every cell of me has been reforged under your mouth, and I am irrevocably charged to keep gorging, because there is no getting the toothpaste back in the tube, or in this case, lube. The exhausting honour. You must pay your fragility. But I can't just leave in the middle of the orgy. It would be rude. And if I do, I'm back to being that shy little coward you fucked at me, which renders every glorious moment I had with you pointless, doesn't it? So I stay present with my permission to want. Slide back into my future, grab the flesh of the nearest willing stranger, and try to focus on the journey rather than the destination of a single bed in a grimy hostel dorm in this city where you are somewhere. Every tube ride, I am devastated that I didn't bump into you, and equally terrified I might. Now you're all moved in with the girlfriend I saw on your phone when, though you were there with me, for me, you really just wanted to go home because I was becoming hard work. Failing and not crying and trying not to beg. See, I never got to figure out these subtle protocols. I had to fast track or die. And I don't know how to be politely satisfied when I am ravenous. When the invisible of me is finally seen. I stay until someone starts to pump my pussy with their fingers like a jackhammer and try and beat down the very real fear that you have indeed ruined me for all other men. If I'll ever be able to wank without crying now, but it's totally worth it. I'd do it all over again, and thank God I can't. Because the only way I could bring myself to jump back in was to fantasize that one day you might get back in touch, proving my tentative hope that I did mean something more to you. And I'll tell you I did this. Went to an orgy alone. Didn't even bother with singles bars and dating apps and swinging. Didn't even bother with dating apps and singles bars. Just jumped right into kink events and fetish munches and swinging, and when I finally worked up the nerve to join in, I touched another woman's boobs and everything, and it was all very useful and exhilarating as it was disappointing. And you'll laugh and tell me how proud you are of me for being so brave.
The moth don't care if the flame is real. The flame and the moth got a sweetheart deal. And nothing fuels a good flirtation like need and anger and desperation.
Savor him. Get over him. Move on. No pressure. New stars. Tonight, I am caterpillar soup, melted down to the bones. All my blind panic calmed. You were my gift for embracing unknowns, handing myself over. How will I ever give you up? Thrive without this sunlight. The idea of romance always made me shudder. Even when I craved connection, I wanted the mortifying misunderstandings, so it felt safe. I was fully prepared for an arrogant fuckboy. But When you rubbed your forehead against mine, cat-like, in a moment of post-coital bliss, laughed at the way I held my pinky up as I sipped Prosecco, so English. When you turned my head and said, look at me, and I drank you in, and you saw me, I finally felt alive. Started to appreciate why all my friends warned me not to go too deep, knowing it would make no difference. If I'd had the usual, the normal, the presumed backlog of breakups and one-night stands, crying in nightclub toilets because he didn't text me back, if I'd had all that, maybe I'd be more prepared for this onslaught. But I'm assured by those who know, it doesn't get any easier. All grief, like love, eventually leads you here to the bittersweet. But what's one but proof of the other? That's why I welcome it. Vulnerability, scared yet glowing under the drug of your delight in me, the chemistry I knew you weren't faking. Though it doesn't change the fact that I paid for you, or the fact that my heart is breaking. Desire is a beautiful, terrible, perfect mess, full of immediate joy and anguished aftermath. I can't have one without the other. I must learn to navigate anguished joy, honour this truth, unravelled out of me unbidden, because there is no filtering out the fine, aching scratch of it. Like all those sighing lovers I resented, secretly envied, I too am stuck in reluctant expectation, ready for the next encounter that I both hope for and dread. So I will savour you as we are now, all oily slickness and moans and animal passion, and let it go. Grateful for every chance to soar and singe true wings on new stars.
When you first told me you were going to hire an escort, I found it quite titillating, I think, because I don't think I know anyone that has done that. I think I was just kind of a bit bowled over. I thought it was a very bold thing to do. In the lead up to it, it felt like you were putting a lot of pressure on yourself, but you were trying to tell yourself not to do that. I mean, because it was just such a big unknown what may happen or how you may feel. This time I saw you after You had a spring in your step. You were kind of giddy. You were quite into being openly smutty. Yeah, you were just quite pleased with yourself, which was nice. You're definitely not back where you were. You've had a wealth of experience that has been pleasurable, joyful. That's not nothing. That's really valuable. And you did a very brave thing. You put yourself in a really vulnerable position. You know, you went from 0 to 100, really. I think that's not something to be sad about. I think it's okay to feel sad and to feel hurt and to have gone on that roller coaster. I think you've been changed by it, and yes, you have been hurt by it, but I think there's so much amazing stuff that you will carry forward with you, and that's brilliant.
Give yourself some kudos for making this happen for yourself. And know you are changed forever. Freedom.
I was the one with the keys. As I sat in the cage, half content, half seething with nameless fury. I was the one holding the knife, eyes darting through bars, seeing predators in passers-by. I was the one getting in my own way, crashing into my fear over and over, shaking my fist at the unfairness of the whole stinking world. Then, I pushed the writhing exhale out of my lungs. I pulled my shoulders down where they should be. I repaid my heart for its naked exposure. You, lover for a borrowed season, were the catalyst, the witness, the touchstone. Now, I fizz with shamelessness. Lie back and trust the sun to find me under the canopy. Now, I know what I am worth.